And here it is, guys, the infamous University of Phoenix Stadium where the Phoenix Cardinals play. Now, this video was actually taken way prior to our last loss, which was today, which kind of kicked us out of the playoffs. But I'm not really going to be talking about the Cardinals or the stadium that much. I am going to be talking about the convention. The first convention of Phoenix Fan Fest was held here in 2014. Now, I do apologize, the video is, at least 3 weeks old, but hopefully this video will give you guys an idea of how it went, and in my opinion, it actually went pretty successful. In a couple areas here in the video, I do show off the stadium. I've been to a few games before, but never really down at the lower level, the actual playing field level, and you kind of get an idea of how big the stadium is. Now, the convention itself housed a lot of local and a few out-of-state sellers. Now, a lot of stuff I saw there were comic books, as you can tell here, a lot of new age toys, a lot of pop figures also, which was really cool. And being the fact that this was actually held a couple weeks before Christmas gave people the option, yeah, I don't know that guy, but hi anyways. Anyways, it gave people the option of buying presents, if they're kind of on a budget or at least they're last minute shoppers. It gave a lot of people options because prices were really, really good. And a lot of art, just a lot of things in general. Of course, you can't get rid of your comic books. I don't want to know, well, I don't know if we should categorize this as a comic book convention or just a convention, only because this specific event was held by the Phoenix Comic-Con creators, or at least producers, however you wanted to call them. The reason why they brought this convention was only because they understood that only once a year, the Phoenix Comic-Con only comes once a year, of course, and they wanted to go ahead and do something for the fans, something kind of appreciate all of the businesses that were here in Arizona and out of state and all the artists. And so anyways, what I'm trying to say is, being that this is the first major event like this, kind of gives Arizona an option to say, hey, yeah, we have 2-3 comic book conventions. And actually, it seems as if Arizona is becoming a more convention-oriented state, only because there are just a lot of things to do now, especially when it comes to comic books or movies, or for an example, just a while ago we had our own toy convention, which I did a video on that. So it's been coming, they're slowly coming here and there. So it gives, kind of Arizona something, people here that live here, something to do, because it has been known to be a boring state. But anyways, back to this. There was just some prints. Neil Adams was there. I didn't have a lot of money to purchase a lot of stuff, but as you can tell, he had a lot of really cool stuff. A lot of cool stuff that I'll probably later on go back and purchase. And also, if you did purchase from directly Neil Adams, he'll actually sign it there. I had a few things signed, which I'll show you at the very end of this video. A couple comic books, a few other things too, which I'll show you what I brought back. Here's a really cool picture that was taken the day prior of me going to the Phoenix Fan Fest, and it was G.I. Joe versus Transformers, which is really cool. As you can tell in the background, there were a lot of people. This right here specifically, I really wanted to buy. I just did not know how my daughter would react. I wanted to get these zombie-fied Barbies. The actual creator took real Barbie and Disney dolls, and he sculpted them, or sculpted over them, and kind of transformed them into zombies. They were really, really cool. One thing I do regret is he didn't have a card. He didn't have anything, and a lot of people were swarming him. He was selling other stuff, other kind of newish toys, but I think he only sold 1 or 2 of these. The prices were, pretty steep, but being the fact that, $100 right there, check that out. But being the fact that just the art and the time that was taken to make these and zombify them, they're just awesome. So if I see him again at the next convention, if he watches this video, bring those zombies, guys, because I'll have more than likely buy 1 or 2. And here's just another view of the stadium. It kind of gives you an idea how big it is, and kind of puts into retrospect how small, how tiny I am compared to being in the stadium. This is where the Cardinals will actually run out into the field, so that was pretty cool being here. And this is where we would actually get autographs. So I got an autograph here in the specific area by Linda Blair, which I'll show you later. That was the only one, only because time-wise, I had to get back home. I was on call. I was at work. Here's some more comic books. Those New Mutants 98, the first Deadpool, those are selling like hotcakes now. Especially that Rob Liefeld. He's going to be coming back in February for another comic convention here in Arizona. So if you don't know, you live in Arizona or traveling, get your Mutants 98 because he'll be here to sign those. A lot of cool stuff. This guy here always brings really, really cool comic books. As you can tell, there's a whole lot of them. His name is Ed Robertson, so I'm pretty sure a lot of you comic book guys know who he is. And this little Lego setup was really, really cool. Especially had a little cars, Disney cars area there. It was pretty cool. Just can't imagine the time that would be needed in order to assemble this little city. A lot of time, I'm assuming. And they also had a little area designated for kids. Now, this one booth right here, oh man, it was really, really cool. He had really cool little design robots, actually made out of, real electronic and kind of chrome and metal parts. I was talking to him for a while. He didn't really seem too interested of what I was asking, or he was just busy, or who knows. But like I said, I was telling him that I'm really interested. I took his card there. I'll put his website here down on the bottom. But like I said, this is really, really cool stuff. Actually, I mean, this is real metal and cans and tin. They were pretty heavy too and pretty pricey. I believe anywhere from about $75 all the way up to $1,000. So I'll see if I can probably swing one out, buy one. These costume cosplay people, they were really cool, really funny. Their costumes were awesome, especially that Saw character right there. Yeah, it was kind of funny. He had to turn around in his bicycle, but it was really cool. They were going around scaring people, and actually people got scared because the costumes were really, really good. Just another booth here with some vintage action figures. Man, if I had some extra money, like I said, guys, I didn't have a whole lot of money, only because Christmas and all, but I would have bought those turtles. A lot of this stuff was really affordable. We're talking, $10, $15, $20. But again, I was on a tight budget because, I needed to save money for Christmas. So, and not a whole lot of people in my circle, if you want to say, collect action figures. So here's a booth right here. There's a local group that pretty much customizes and makes Autobot Cosplay costumes, if you want to say. So I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool. I wouldn't mind, getting with them and trying to figure out how to make one for me. They were walking around, and also in a picture that you saw earlier, the G.I. Joe vs. Transformers. They were really cool. They had microphones set up, so if a lot of you, for example, if a lot of you know or have seen in person those Stormtroopers from Star Wars, and they have those microphones where they talk out of, it was the same thing. So they actually talked out of a microphone, which kind of gave the whole robot concept, a little bit more appeal. And really, really cool. This guy right here, he was going around scaring people, which was pretty funny. Another local group, kind of a Resident Evil umbrella corporation group here, which was really, really cool. Really good designs and costume. And there he comes, there he comes. There was that. He scared off a little kid, so I remember seeing that, and that was really funny. And here's another local booth here, or at least a local group that designates their time in creating G.I. Joe costumes, which was pretty cool. They had a few people there on that day. I only went on Sunday. I was going to go all 3 days, but because of work, I couldn't get off. We had some major issues going on, so I was only available to go on Sunday for a few hours. This is the outside of the stadium where they had a lot of events more oriented towards kids, and it was really cool. It was really fun. Unfortunately, I didn't have my daughter, and they had a lot of things that kids can actually do, with games. Not necessarily video games, but more like actually physical games. Here, this was really cool, where you can actually have like an Iron Man hand and shoot targets, and you had Thor's hammer, and you can throw at specific targets. That was really cool. I noticed there was a lot of kids wanting to do that, and of course you would win prizes. And that was pretty much the gist of everything. Now, like I mentioned in the video, I did not attend all 3 days. I only attended the very last day on Sunday.
And being the fact this is the first Phoenix Fan Fest being held at the Cardinal Stadium, it was pretty nice. It wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold. When I went, it was early, right when they first opened. So most of the video that you saw, there weren't a lot of people as of yet. Only in the pictures that I showed where it detailed the Transformers versus G.I. Joe little segment, the pictures that I showed you, there were a lot of people at that. But like I said, when I walked in, it barely opened. I think it was only open for like 30 minutes. And there was a nice handful of people there. And when I go to conventions, I usually like to go early in the mornings, only because I hate crowds, guys. I really hate them. So when I go there early, there's not a whole lot of people, especially being it was the last day. I heard that majority of the people ended up going, you know, towards kind of lunchtime, middle afternoon. So I was able to get a lot of cool deals being the very last day. Now the 3 things that I actually picked up, I'm going to show you here. This is from the original Exorcist movie way back in the late 70s. Now this was actually very hard to find for me. When I found it, being in the fact that it's in really, really good shape, I knew I had to get it. I knew I had to go buy it. So it was actually on eBay from a local seller here in Arizona in Scottsdale. So when I bought it, I was kind of disappointed the fact that it was folded. When talking to the guy, he did mention that these posters were originally always folded. When they were sent to the theater, 9 times out of 10, the poster came in an envelope, and that's pretty much how they were shipped. They weren't shipped in tubes way back then. It kind of made it a little easier to take over to the convention and have Linda Blair sign it. Now, unfortunately, I did not get any video. I regret I did not get any pictures of her because I was paying more attention towards the poster from not ripping, tearing, or being bent the wrong way, because it is a very expensive poster. So, and I do plan on getting it framed and put up. Also, I picked up these 2 comic books. One you've already seen, which was, I believe it was the first appearance of Darkseid there. And the other one I actually picked up at the con was Dracula, The Tomb of Dracula #1. Picked that up, had both of them signed by Neil Adams, which is really cool. He's a really cool guy. The line, again, was really short only because it was in the morning, but I do regret I did not have enough cash on me to buy any of his prints. His prints are available online, so in the video that I was showing, if there's anything that you guys did see or was pretty much amazed about, check out his website. I'll put it here on the screen. You can order prints from him, and of course he'll sign them, and you can actually also get them authenticated. So that's pretty much it, guys, that I picked up. Not a whole lot, only because, like I said, I was really short on funds. Christmas was on the way. I had to save money for my daughter coming into town, and so hopefully this next convention coming in February, which is the amazing Arizona Comic-Con, I'm actually going to do more video and hopefully purchase a little more things for you guys so you guys can take a look. But again, guys, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up, let me know. And thanks a lot. Thanks for watching, and peace.